So today is Monday and I'm back at the van for I'm obviously, this is my home, so I'm back here. I am just painting some mugs. So these are the mugs that are going to be carved into. So then you're going to get kind of a green design with kind of a nice like white mug. Well, it's like a creamy colour, it's not like white because I sometimes find the white a bit too harsh against kind of some of my designs, because I primarily use black. Oh, I just blobbed a bit of green on me. So yeah, I've got this nice kind of like springy green. It's not like too bright and it's not too dark, and I've left these mugs quite chunky because I'm going to carve into them, so that's going to take away a lot of the weight. But that's what I'm going to be doing today, is just carrying on working on the ceramic collection. What was I going to say? Yeah, I started on some pieces last night, which I will show you in a second. Amber, if you're watching this, which I don't think you are, please look away now, because this is something to do with your wedding. So last night I started painting these they kind of look like little ferns, but these are little gifts because my very lovely friend Amber is getting married in May, and as my kind of wedding gift to her, I thought I would make these special little bowls. You could use them, I guess, as like trinket dishes, or I don't really know. They'll be food safe, so you could technically like put little bits of food in them if you wanted to. But my idea was, I've done kind of like that kind of style. I've got 4 of them, and then you've got like a nice foot. And then I'm gonna go in and do a purple glaze, because the kind of colours of her wedding are like purples and greens. So I found a nice combination of a purple glaze that I've got, and then a green glaze over the top. And then I thought I would then continue the green glaze just on the inside, and then see what that looks like, and then do a gold luster rim just to make them look kind of really special. And then I need to measure them, because these are going to shrink in the kiln, but I do need to measure them. And I was going to buy some really nice kind of purple boxes to present them in, so it's all very like presented really nicely. And then it's just kind of like I know obviously she's going to have a lot to remember on her wedding day, but I made 4 for, like, 1 for her, and then like for the other brides as well. So I just thought that would be like a nice little gift for her and her bridesmaids. And I was thinking of putting the date of the date of the wedding on the back as well, just so that people kind of know. I also did a really nice little kind of like spiral design on the back. I don't really know if you can see it, but it's finished them off like very, very nicely. So yeah, I've got 4 of those for the bridesmaids. And then I've just realised I've actually haven't done enough. I did 5, but then 1 broke. But there's 5 bridesmaids, including me, but I haven't done one for myself. So there's 4 bridesmaids, and there's Amber as well. So I actually haven't done one for. Oh my god, I haven't actually done one for Amber. But I think I can do her something like a little bit more special. I might do maybe like a mug or something for her instead. Have I got time to do that? Yeah, I've got loads of time to do that. Or I might quickly make another one next time I'm like at the studio. But I've got the 4 bridesmaids. I can't believe I've just done that. I didn't, because we've got a little group chat on WhatsApp. So then when I counted how many people there were, our little group chat, I don't know if it has her in it or not. I'll have to double check. But anyway, these are little wedding gifts. But this is all I've done so far. And then I just refined the teapot that I've done, and then I've been refining just like the takeaway mugs and some of the other pieces. So then today I'm ready to like paint and assemble and just crack on and do some of those, which I'm quite looking forward to. It's a super nice day out today as well, so I've got like the van door open, and I'm quite looking forward to like carving these as well. I need to kind of sit and like figure out what design I'm going to do on them as like a matching pair, but yeah, they look really nice. I'm excited to see those as well come to life. But yeah, I feel like I keep saying like I'm not a production potter like at all, but I've done pretty okay. I feel like I do pretty well in terms of making things like look pretty similar. Like I can see kind of small differences obviously, but I feel like that then I'm just like, well, they're handmade, so I don't want them to be perfect, but I just, it makes me proud of like how far I've come in ceramics, because again, like when I look at these mugs, these do look pretty similar. I mean, the handles are a little bit skew with, but like you can't, I feel like you wouldn't be able to tell. And again, it just, I don't want things to be perfect because then it makes it not feel handmade, you know. Sorry if you can not see my face. I've got all my hair scrunched up, but I just wanted to show you. So I've like finished these takeaway mugs, which look pretty good. I've been like humming and hawing on how to decorate them because I feel that I'm gonna do like a green glaze over the top of them, but I think what I've been debating on how to like glaze and decorate the ants. So I was thinking what I might do is either leave them bare, so then you've got a bit of a contrast between like raw clay and glaze, but then part of me quite likes the idea of glazing just like one of the ants and then like gold lustering it, so it's kind of like a little bit, you get something a bit interesting, because I always feel like the green and gold go well, very well, like really well together, and obviously it's very much in style of like my artwork. But I've got 5 of these. They are going to shrink slightly, which I'm a little bit worried about, but I mean at the minute I would say that's probably like a latte size, so they might shrink a little bit to be more of like a flat white, but we'll just see how we get on with it when I have put them in the kiln. I've just finished this takeaway mug. I don't know if it's going to work, if I'm being honest, because, so I don't know if you can see, so it's got, I've done these really big hills and then there's a little house which I'm going to go over in black, but because it feels like a little bit on the heavier side because of obviously that added weight, so I'm not like 100% sure if this is going to work. But I've only thrown 3 to do as like an experiment, so we'll just kind of like see, because again it does feel quite like, it's not uncomfortably heavy, but there is like a weight there that like wouldn't be there if I didn't add. It's not too much difference, but like you can definitely feel there's an extra weight. I have carved away at the clay, so then it's not as kind of weighty, but still, I don't really know how these are going to look, to be honest. I'm kind of trying to do like a trust the process with them, just because I like was really excited about this idea, but again, like I just don't know how like practical they're going to be. But they look really cool. Like it looks really cute so far, and like I like the green, and again, if I put a little bit of kind of black to highlight the house, I think that'll make the house like stand out. So we'll just kind of see how I get on, really. But what do you think? I think it's, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Just for something, it's like trying to make stuff that's a bit unique and a bit different, and I like the kind of sculptural element of it. Like it's nice to have like the contrast between like the feel of the kind of bumpy bits, and then obviously there's going to be like a very smooth glaze over the top. I also finished the ant ones, and like again they look quite interesting, which I really like. It's just trying some different things. Like I wouldn't mind making like a mug with the ants carved out into it with like a handle. I think that would look really good. But yeah, I'm just going to continue. I've only got two more of these to do, because I only threw 3, like I said, because I wasn't 100% sure about how these would look and feel and the practicality of them. But yeah, not bad. So I have finished pretty much all of the painting for the ceramics. I'm sorry if you can hear a little bit of wind in the background. I've just got the door open because Mango wanted to be outside. But I thought I would just show you what I've done and where I'm up to with this little collection. It's coming along very, very well, to be honest, and I've still got quite a bit to do, but the next kind of things that I need to make is more plates. So I'm kind of a bit unsure of how to do that, just because the plates are quite hard to make on the wheel bat that I've got at the minute, because it's quite a small one, so I can't really make big plates if I want to. So I do have some forms where you can kind of roll out the clay, and then use like a slab of clay to then put over a form, and then you can kind of create plates from that. Which like I don't mind, but I just prefer the look of like a hand thrown plate. But I've just got one decorative plate to do, I've got some incense dishes to do, some small plates, some necklaces, and then I've actually haven't got like too much to do on like the stuff that I wanted to do for fun. So I've got 2 cups to go with the teapot, 2 candle stick holders, and 2 jars. So it's a very small collection, so it feels very manageable, which is really nice. When I started writing like my list of stuff, I was a bit like, oh my gosh, there's like so much that like I need to do. But as well, like I have added like a couple of extra things, because again, some of this I've kind of wanted just to play around with and just see how it might look, how it might feel, and practicality and things like that. So I'm just going to move this mug over there. So I'll start off with, these are the takeaway mugs that have got little ants running through them. These have been inspired by an artist called Bradley, I can't remember their last name, but I believe they're a tattoo artist, and they did something similar, but they did ants in a shape of like a skull, but it was this kind of where he had like carved away. But I really like how mine have turned out. I'm trying to focus mine more on kind of spirals and things like that, and again I'm going to do a green glaze on this so it looks like they're kind of in the earth. So I've got 5 of those. I have then got these takeaway mugs, which are a complete experiment if I'm being honest. So I've only done 3 of them, but I love how they've turned out so far. I just feel like they might be a little bit impractical in terms of just like, because they're quite heavy. Well, it's not really heavy, but you can kind of feel it a lot more because of that extra kind of sculptural elements that I've added onto it. But they look really good so far. I've got a little bit of cracking going on actually, so I might need to try and sort that out today. And then we have the 2 mugs. I'm just going to show one just because it's a bit precarious getting them in and out the box. But these turned out so well so far, and again I'm quite intrigued to see how they look when they're done and glazed. I think as well next time I do these I will trim them a lot more. I think I left quite a lot of weight on them because I was under the assumption that I would carve quite a bit into it, but actually you don't really carve too much to kind of get the sgraffito look. So they feel a little bit more heavier to me, but again they'll feel lighter once they've dried and they've been firstly bisque fired because there's been no more moisture in them. I've then done 4 little bowls, which are, these are going to be gifts for my friend's bridesmaids. My lovely friend Amber, who's getting married, and she asked me to be one of her bridesmaids, so I've decided to do some little wedding gifts for her and the bridesmaids. I've done 4 of these for the bridesmaids, and then for Amber I actually decided to do something a little bit special. She loves pigeons and it's really cute and I love it, and so I had been looking on just online, maybe getting her some sort of like pigeon themed art, but I decided instead to make a pigeon plate, which I think has turned out really well. I tried to make the pigeon really fat because I wanted like a really nice like fat like podgy pigeon, and we'll just see how it like fires and stuff. And again I'm going to add some colour to this. It's going to kind of be, I'm unsure whether or not to do kind of like a purpley glaze or like a green glaze or what, but I kind of want it to look very like folk inspired. This is a lot of my art, I want it to look very folk inspired, so we ended up doing that yesterday as well. I've done all of these like so much like quicker than I had anticipated because I tried my best to really take my time because I can rush things. And then we have this vase that I worked on, which has got a big frog on the front of it, and then we've got a little bit of detailing on the edges there, which again, really like how this has turned out. I'm really pleased with it. I would love to do bigger vases as well, and kind of once maybe things get up and going, do some more really tall pieces, because I kind of, the biggest that I've thrown has kind of only been about maybe like that big maybe. And then finally we have the teapot, which I decided to do a little deer on the front of it. So then you've got the deer, you've got a nice bit of detailing on the handle, I did a little spiral on the knob, and then on the inside you've got like another spiral of a kind of fern inspired leafy plant thing. But again, I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. I also added a little bit of extra detailing. I've got a stamp of a fossil that I had made, so this is my illustration, and then I got it made into a stamp. But again, it's turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. I'm a bit nervous about how this is going to pour and the functionality of it, but I'm trying to give myself a bit of grace because this is my first teapot that I've ever made. So yeah, everything looks really good so far, apart from a little bit of cracking just then. But again, it's quite hard to navigate making things like dry like very slowly, especially in the van as well, and just kind of keeping an eye on things. I'm just glad that I have like the space to kind of paint here instead of having to keep going back and forth to my parents, just because that's like a bit difficult. So yeah, I'm gonna just try and fix these little cracks, and then I'm gonna maybe try really airtight that container so they dry extra slowly, and we'll just go from there. But yeah, these are definitely kind of one of the favourite things that I've made, just because they look so different and I think they're so sweet. And yeah, I'm looking forward to using it and seeing if it works. The only thing that I've just thought of in this moment is that when you drink out of it, you're kind of not going to see the design unless like you have it. So then it makes me think, should I put the design on the back so then other people can see it? But I don't know. That's, again, these are experiments. I need to keep saying to myself, it's okay, these are experiments, they're not supposed to be perfect. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Sorry it's been a bit of a longer one, but I've just been mainly doing painting in the van. So maybe not this week, but next week I'll be in the studio again and I'll be doing more throwing. I think this is probably a good way for me to do this, by doing like small batches of stuff, throwing and trimming, and then bringing everything to the van and then painting it. and then dropping it back off to then be ready to be bisque fired and glazed. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!